Hello everybody, I come to you from the camp, which is in Aix-en-Provence in southern France, and this is like an incubator, accelerator of startups and of ideas in the middle of the Provence. It's an amazing place. We're under this canopy, this white canopy, and then we've been working in these glass and steel buildings, which we've been calling pods. I don't know if they're pods. I mean, if there was ever a pod, it probably looked like this. This is the central area with an olive tree and a fountain, and it's a wonderful place. So they have rooms and people stay here and they live here and they have residency periods here. But I've been here as part of a group of people called the European Reformists that has been convened by Carnegie Europe and by the Open Society Foundations to think about the failure of the European Union to address some key issues that worry citizens and the rise of anti-European populism. So what has caused this? What is the diagnosis? What can we do about this? It's an action-focused group, sort of focused around what can be done regarding this issue. And so we've been here for a day and a half thinking about these things, and three fundamental things have emerged out of this debate. One is that we need to start thinking about the crafting of a new social contract, both in Europe and in the member states and probably internationally. And the idea here is that globalization and technological transformation and exponential change have been so deep, so rapid, that they have left behind governments and their capacity to react. So our social contract, the fundamental principles about the future of work, how income is generated and distributed within our societies are outdated, and a lot of people feel lost in this space, and they feel the system is not equitable and it's not just. So we have to have a deep reflection about the construction of that new social contract in a digital era. So that's one. The second point is that not just in the crafting of this contract or manifesto, but also in its implementation, local communities and citizens' initiatives are going to be very, very important. So, the decentralization of politics is something that we need to learn how to do, and we need to engage with these groups and foster these groups. So that's another big issue that has come up in the last 2 days. And the third issue is that on top of the intellectual piece and this contract idea, and this idea that communities have to be involved, we also have to, at the end of the day, construct political movements that take these ideas to the electorate. So this needs to be mobilized politically, and only then will we see real change in Europe and elsewhere, and a much more sustainable political system and society emerge. So, but the meeting and its tone has confirmed to me that the system is really in shift, that there is a crisis in the Western world, and that the sustainability of the system is really being questioned, and that the capacity of our governments and our societies, and even our own capacity individually to deal with the velocity of change that technologies are imposing on us is really being questioned. So, and it's producing this social fracture that we now have to deal with. So those are the things we've been discussing here. I'm very hopeful that some of these things will be implemented. Some of the organizations represented here definitely have the capacity to put forward initiatives and ideas in this space. So interesting and fascinating stuff, and some solutions also, which is always great. So bye-bye from the south of France and from the camp. Sure.